Thank you for joining. In this video, we will discuss the chords of the major scale. The chords of all the major scales form a special pattern. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. So we have the capital M for the major chords, the small case letter M's for the minor chords, and this DIM is special for chord number 7 in the major scale. The most important chords of the major scales are the major chords, the capital M chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5. These chords are called the primary chords. You can use the primary chords of the scale to harmonize, form a basic accompaniment for the melody of a song. To play the chords of the major scale on the piano, we will first discuss the key of C major. The key of C major has all white keys, and it's easiest to use when starting to learn. That way you're not worried about using the correct black keys. So in the key of C major, the 1 chord is C major, the 2 chord is D minor, the 3 chord is E minor, the 4 chord is the F major chord, the 5 chord is the G major chord, the 6 chord is A minor, the 7 chord is B diminished, and the 1 chord again is C major. First we'll learn the chords of this scale, the C major scale, and then we'll quickly move on to G major. The first note of the G major scale is G, and as we go through the scale, we'll notice that the 7th is an F sharp. This is our first black key. And we will use the same pattern for the chords in the G major scale. And then we'll move on to D major. D major has an F sharp and a C sharp, 2 black keys. But you'll see that even though we've changed the key to G major and then to G major, we will use the same chord pattern: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and major. Okay, let's get started with how to play the chords. Here we are on C major. When you start with the first chord, the bottom of the note, the bottom of the chord is the name of the chord. This is the bottom, and so the first chord is called C major. So if you start with the C and count up 2 notes, 1, 2, you will find the 3rd of the chord, and then count up another 2 notes, 1, 2, and you will find the 5th of the chord. These 3 notes played together form a triad. And then you're going to repeat the same process for each note of the scale, and you will create the chords within that key. So in the key of C major, the first chord is noted with a capital M representing the word major. And so all of these notes together are forming the C major chord. It is C, E, G. That's chord number 1, the C major chord. Let's go to the second chord. The second chord, the bottom note is a D. Count up 2 notes. The 3rd is the F, and count up the 2 notes and the top note. The 5th of the chord is A. D, F, A. This is D minor chord. Lowercase m to represent the word minor. And the 3rd chord, E, G, B. E minor chord, because the 3rd chord of the scale is a minor chord. The 4th chord, F, A, C. This is F major chord. The 4th chord of the scale is a major chord. G, B, D is the 5th chord. G major chord, because the 5th chord of the scale is a major chord. The 6th, A, C, E, is an A minor chord, because the 6th of the scale is a minor chord, A minor. And here we have the 7th. As discussed, the 7th is a diminished chord. This is B, D, F, B diminished chord. And we finished with the 1 chord, the C major chord. One more time. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C major. Those are the chords of the C major scale. Remember the pattern: major, major, minor. One more time, let me repeat that. This is the pattern for the major scale: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Let's go to G major. Let's take a look at the scale. G. Here is the black key, F sharp. 7, 8. Okay, so let's talk about the chords of the G major scale. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, G major. Remember, it's 1 is the major chord, 2 is a minor chord, 3 is a minor chord, 4 is a major chord, 5 is a major chord, 6 is a minor chord, 7 is a diminished chord, and 1 is the major chord. Follows the same pattern even though we changed the key. And the last key that we will demonstrate, let's take a look at D major. D major has 2 black keys, an F sharp and a C sharp. Let's play the scale. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here's the chords: D major, E minor, F sharp minor. Remember, you have the C sharp here. This is the 3 chord. 4 chord is G major. 5 chord is A major. B minor is the 6th chord. And you have C sharp diminished, because remember the 7th is the C sharp and it's a diminished chord, and D major. Let's recap all the keys. C major, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember the pattern: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And let's go to G major. Remember, G major has an F sharp. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. minor, diminished, major. And finally, let's recap D major. Remember, it has two sharps. The pattern for the chords is the same. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And there you have it. The chords of the major scale. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and major. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for joining. See you in the next video.